Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're a brand new subscriber or a brand new viewer. My name is Kyle. So we are now officially in the month of October. Halloween is going to be at the end of this month. And in preparation for it, I'd like to talk about a couple of classic horror and thriller movies that impacted me either as a child or during my teenage years. And we're going to be starting off today with talking about definitely the lightest film in that category, 2006's Monster House. This tells the story of a boy named DJ who discovers that the house across the street just might be a monster. So he, his friend Chowder, and their newly formed friend Jenny try to find a way to take down the house before it devours any more victims. Monster House, for me, and for people of my generation, I'd say people between the ages of 20 to 26. This might have been the first animated movie or first movie we saw as kids that scared us. When I first saw this movie, it was terrifying, unsettling about this house that could turn into a creature. Now, one thing you have to understand about me, as a kid, I didn't enjoy horror movies. I just didn't like being scared. And although this movie did an effective job in scaring me, there was something about it that just felt fun. I always was entertained watching this movie. Viewing it in the eyes of today, obviously this movie is no longer scary, but it definitely has a couple of creepy moments. It is a very funny little adventure movie, and I think that's what makes people want to come back to this film. It's very warm and very inviting. This is a movie I try to watch once every October, and I just always have a blast with this movie. It's pure fun. And it definitely feels like an 80s movie, in that there's kids trying to go on this adventure, trying to act like adults going on this adventure. There's a lot of older teenage characters and adult characters who are just oblivious and stupid. You have this sort of mentor character, which is Skull in the movie, who's trying to tell them how to defeat the antagonist of the movie. And the antagonist itself is this giant monster-like being that's bigger than any of the kids. All of those 1980s elements are in there, which is my favorite decade. So I think it helps aid to why I enjoy the movie as much as I do. And I also learned this movie is supposed to take place in 1983, so it definitely makes sense. All three of the kids are very likable. My favorite character of them is most definitely Chowder. I think he is probably the fan favorite of this movie.
Get off my lawn! Whoa, 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 whoa! You ain't nothing! You're a shack! You're an outhouse!
You also have the two cops, played by Kevin James and Nick Kenan. Their chemistry is so good. They play off each other so well, and their lines are always hilarious. Now, I think the best character in this movie is Nebbercracker, played by Steve Buscemi. This is going to be a brief spoiler warning, so in case if you haven't seen this movie, which I feel if you clicked on this review you have, but in case if you haven't, this is your warning. When Nebbercracker comes back to life, we get to learn his backstory. We get to understand why he is the way he is. And it's a very tragic one, with the discovery that his love, Constance, was a circus freak just because she was overweight, which is just wrong. Then you come to learn that she ended up falling to her death and got completely covered with cement, and her soul is inhabiting and demonizing this house. Now, watching it today, it's a cool and fun mystery, but definitely back then as a kid, that was completely unsettling, and I think that's one of the big reasons why Monster House I don't think would be made today. So it feels like a novelty item. It feels like it's its own unique film, and I really appreciate that. The movie also has an interesting animation style because it was used during the motion capture computer animation part of the 2000s. They were doing that with the movie The Polar Express by Robert Zemeckis. He was an executive producer for this film. So I do think it's a very interesting technique, but I do think the animation in this film looks better than The Polar Express. It does feel like it's an animated film, but the style feels very unique. Now, there's no doubt that Monster House is a very cheesy movie. That kiss scene is pure cringe material. But definitely the biggest thing about this movie is the fact that nobody sees anything. In fact, there's a moment where you see little kids trick-or-treating right down the street, and nobody witnesses the house coming to life, chasing them into this abandoned lot, and then blowing up. There's no police cars or ambulances, nothing that comes by. That honestly is pretty stupid, and it's definitely the worst element of this movie. Guys, Monster House is the definition of a nostalgic trip. It's the kind of movie where every time I go back to re-explore it, I do feel like I'm a little kid watching it. The simple adventure story featuring 3 kids trying to be adults, it's always fun to see. The other characters in the movie are all stupid and obnoxious, and the fact they don't see anything is ridiculous, but I still do enjoy the side characters in the movie, particularly the 2 cops. Skull is very fun. Z, played by Maggie Gyllenhaal, is a bit annoying, but she's also kind of funny. And I think Nevercracker's backstory in the movie is really good. I really feel like that is the strongest element of the film. When he dances with Constance's spirit at the end of the film, it's a very wonderful, just sweet moment. Whenever I go back to watching animated movies I loved as a kid, I'm always shocked about how short they are. This movie, I think, is only like an hour and 22 minutes. And I remember as a kid that they were stuck in the house for like an entire act. But rewatching this movie, I don't even think it's 10 minutes long. So my mind definitely works faster than it did as a kid. But that doesn't detract anything. It doesn't ruin anything, because the movie itself is still a lot of fun. You have all of the core elements of making a fun, simple, cheesy movie, and that is what Monster House is. And I think people of my generation still adore it to this day. Overall, guys, I'm going to give Monster House a solid B. So what do you guys think about the movie Monster House? If you are a part of my generation, so if you're between the ages of 20 to 26, I think that's what I stated at the beginning, let me know specifically what your thoughts are on the movie. Do you think it holds up? Do you like it as much as I do? Please let me know down in the comment section below. Also, in my description box, you can follow me on social media. I've also set up my business email, so any inquiries, you can also email me there. All of it is in the description box below. In the meantime, guys, please subscribe to this channel and give this video a like. Thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned.